What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Appreciate all you guys being here. We're finally back, baby. Let's go, let's go. We had, I don't know, 5 or 6 days off, but, it feels good to be back. Feels good to be talking NBA with you guys again. Obviously, tonight's slate is not the best. We only have 2 games tonight. Not the best slate, but, it feels good to be streaming again. Feels good to be making content, making lineups again. Definitely missed it, I'll say that. I would say the first couple of days of the All-Star break are always nice. You kind of relax a little bit, but then Monday, Tuesday, I started to get pretty bored. I was kind of ready for basketball to be back. But yeah, guys, appreciate all you tuning in. We'll answer the questions or whatever for the next. I don't know if we'll go live for an hour because it's only a 2-game slate. There won't be a ton to talk about, but we'll be live for probably 30, 40 minutes. Just any questions you got, I'll be sure to answer them. Throw them in the chat. We'll talk through everything. Really nothing in terms of news. There's nothing we're really waiting on. I think the most important thing we got to see is the Spurs starting lineup. I think there is a good chance that they run a different starting lineup than what they've been running. We could see Trey Lyles go back to the bench. We could see Jakob Poeltl go back to the bench. So, yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. Victor, $5 super chat. Hey, I appreciate that, Victor. He says, let's go. I appreciate your time, brother. Hey, I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you. But yeah, the Spurs starting lineup, that's really the only important news, I guess, that we're waiting on for today. Pretty short, pretty easy slate. Nothing's changed, really. Tomorrow, that's when things get interesting. We got like 11 games tomorrow. There's already a ton of news that's come out. So yeah, tomorrow's slate's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot more fun. We back. Let's get it. Hey, let's get it, Christopher. Feels good to be back, man. Feels good to be back for sure. I've been fiending for this slate. When I saw the first slate back was a 2-gamer, I wasn't that excited, but at least feels good to be making content again. Putting stuff out on YouTube, streaming again, talking to you guys. That's I always look forward to streaming and stuff. It's so fun, man. Just to get on here and answer questions, talk through everything. I love doing it every day. Clark or Aldridge? If LaMarcus Aldridge is starting, which I think is a good possibility, Aldridge has been coming off the bench recently, but I think that was just because he was coming back from injury. His minutes were limited. Now that he's had a full week to rest, I think it's likely they move Aldridge back into the starting lineup. So if Aldridge is starting, I'd rather have him over Clark. 2-game slate, let's get it. Hey, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Is Derek White a good play? Yeah, we got to wait and see in terms of minutes for Derek White. Him, Rudy Gay, they haven't played in a while. It's been a long time since they've played, like a month or so. They could definitely be on a minutes limit. If Derek White is not limited, then I think he's a solid play, especially on a short slate like this where, we don't have a ton of options. I'm totally fine going to Derek White if he's not limited. Now, if he's on a minutes limit, then yeah, I probably wouldn't go there. But no, if no limit, I think he's in play for sure. Ja, Jay Rich, Westbrook, Dylan Brooks, Keldon, Kyle Anderson, Jay Val, and Aldridge. That looks pretty decent, Jake. That looks like a pretty decent lineup to me. What's up, Noah? We back? Yeah, we back, Christopher. Feels good to be back, man. What's up, Noah? Welcome back. Hey, appreciate you being here, Jay. I'm glad to be back, man. Memphis about to unleash Winslow tonight. Best value on the board. Yeah, I think if you're looking for a guy under 4K, Winslow is probably the best option for sure. His minutes have been super secure. Like, basically since he's been back, he's played at least 20 minutes in every game so far. Like, he's the one bench guy from Memphis that I feel confident gets at least like 20 minutes. And he's been relatively good on a point per minute basis, so I think he's definitely a cheap option that's in play for sure. With no Grayson Allen, that at least frees up a little bit of minutes. I think Winslow gets a few. I think Melton gets a few. Tyus Jones may get some minutes. Desmond Bane will obviously get more minutes. But yeah, I think Winslow's a solid option for sure. There's really no value today. So, guys like Justice Winslow, Desmond Bane, these are the kind of guys we're going to be looking to for value. Any site to find out about starting lineups before tip? Jake, get on Twitter, man. That's what I'll tell you. If you're on Twitter, there's so many accounts you can follow. Fantasy Labs NBA, that's the account that most people follow. They tweet out starting lineups, injury news, basically everything you need to know. So if you can, make a Twitter account, follow Fantasy Labs, and that's how you can get all your news. That's what most people do, including myself. Welcome back, Noah. Seen that delicious Shake Shack, bro. Love these 2-gamers. Let's get it. Dude, that Shake Shack was so good, man. We went, I think it was, we went Friday, got it for lunch, and then it was so good we had to go back Saturday. Had to get it again. We were in Charlotte for the weekend, so we got to eat Shake Shack, which is something we never really get to eat because it's not available where I live. We got to eat like a bunch of good stuff, man. We wanted to do like a bunch of cool stuff. They had bowling, they had Top Golf, they had They had like axe throwing. We want to try all that stuff out, but like a lot of stuff is closed in Charlotte. Like I guess because of COVID stuff, like I guess the governor of Charlotte or North Carolina, whatever, they haven't really opened up as much as South Carolina has. So like a lot of stuff was closed, but we were still able to eat some good food. It was a good weekend. Definitely enjoyed it. Welcome back, Noah. That Shake Shack burger you tweeted a few days ago looked tasty. So good, Michael. So good, man. If none of you guys have had Shake Shack and you have it available in your area, you got to go. It's the best fast food burger, in my opinion, 100%. Hope you enjoyed your vacation. How you feel about Luka, Russell, and Beal for one lineup? I mean, Chris, I don't know how you're going to be able to make that work. Like, I mean, if you play Luka, Westbrook, and Beal, like you have no salary left at all. Let's see. If you plug those three guys in, I mean, you have literally less than $4K per player. I mean, you're going to be playing some really gross guys. Like, I don't think I'd be doing that on this slate. Even if Westbrook, Beal, and Luka all go off, like there's a good chance they're still not going to be in the winning lineup altogether because a lot of these value guys they're not going to get you there. Like there's no value that I'm insanely confident in tonight outside of like Justice Winslow or Trey Lyles if he starts, but I think Trey Lyles probably is going to go back to the bench. So yeah, I don't think I'd be doing that, Chris. Not on this slate, I don't think. Find the team beat writers as well. Yeah, you can do that too. You can follow the beat writers for every team, but really just following Fantasy Labs, that's all you need to do. They let it, they tweet out everything you need to know most of the time. What's good, Noah? Good to be back playing DFS, brother. Yeah, sure thing, Bryce. Feels good to be back, man. Feels good to be back. Lyles or Winslow? If Lyles is starting still, I would play him, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Keldon Johnson's probably going to start over Lyles. Right now, Keldon Johnson's in the projected starting lineup that Fantasy Labs has. He's in their projected starting lineup, but obviously, nothing's official yet. If Lyles is starting, I would play him. If Lyles is going back to the bench, then I would play Winslow. I mean, there's a good chance if Lyles goes back to the bench that he might not even play because they have Rudy Gay now, and he's kind of their backup power forward. So, like, there's a good chance Lyles doesn't even play. I'm not going to really look to him if he's not starting just because I have no idea how many minutes he plays if he comes off the bench. Ja, Westbrook, and fade Luka, or do you prefer to have Luka tonight? I'd probably get Luka over Westbrook if I can. It's so tough to get like Ja and Westbrook or Ja and Luka just because there's no value. Like right now, my build, I don't have Ja and Westbrook or Ja and Luka. I'm only playing one lineup tonight. I'm not playing much volume at all. I normally, on 2-game slates like this, I normally play very light. And right now, I don't have Ja or Westbrook or Ja Luka. I have Ja and Beal. I think, taking the savings and going with Beal makes a lot of sense. I do like Beal at his price tag quite a bit. Late stream, let's go. Yeah, had to go live a little later today. I was playing golf with my dad, and we just got back like 30 minutes ago. I still wanted to stream, though, so, it feels, or at least I was able to get enough time to go live. Obviously, we're not going to be live too long just because it's a short slate, but definitely wanted to get in here, answer your guys' questions, talk to you guys again after, being gone for 5 or 6 days. Thoughts on Jakob? If he's starting, I think he's in play, but there's a good chance he goes back to the bench, and if Jakob Poeltl's coming off the bench, like, I don't want to play him at 6K. Even if he starts, I mean, his minutes have kind of been down lately. I think, LaMarcus Aldridge is their starting center. And, I don't know why. I don't think Poeltl's going to be the starting center rest of season. I think once Aldridge gets back to, his full minutes, he's going to be back in the starting lineup. I don't think Aldridge is just going to come off the bench the rest of the season. That just doesn't seem like something they would do. Aldridge has been a starter when he's been healthy, so it's very likely that he moves back into the starting lineup. We'll just have to keep an eye on it, though. If you had to choose one, Lopez or Wagner, I mean, Wagner's still the starter, so I'd probably take Wagner. Like, you just never know with those Washington bigs. Last time they played Memphis, I don't even know how the minutes. I think they had like a 3-way split. So last time they played Memphis, Lopez, he got 14 minutes. Wagner got 11 minutes, and then Alex Len played 19 minutes. So Alex Len actually played the most of the 3 centers last time they played Memphis. I have no idea if that happens again. I think Wagner's the starter. If he comes out and plays well, he's probably the guy they go to. But if he's not playing well, it's obviously, risky because they'll bench him for Lopez, they'll bench him for Alex Len. But I would take Wagner there if I had to choose one. Memphis has a ton of guys tonight. Wonder how that will impact usage. Ja and Joval, safest options there. I mean, yeah, Ja and Joval, especially on a short slate like this, and a really good matchup against the Wizards. I think they're 2 of the best options on the board. Obviously, Memphis has a ton of bodies, and they're not a team that really, They don't run their guys heavy minutes, but lately the minutes for Ja Morant have been up. Like, Ja did play, I think, like 36 minutes last game for the break. He played 39 minutes last game, which is great to see. I think 34, 35 minutes is likely for Morant here if, the game stays close and, he's not in foul trouble or anything. So, yeah, obviously Ja and Joe Val are like the two safest options on Memphis, but I think there's other guys on Memphis that look really appealing just because it's such a good matchup. It's such a good game environment, fast-paced game. Guys like Kyle Anderson, Dylan Brooks, Justice Winslow, Melton, I think they're in play on a short slate like this. Is Jaren Jackson Jr. out? Yes, he is still out. I don't know when he's going to return, but not tonight. He's still out. I'm planning on build with Luka, Ja, and Jonas and Cash. Is that a good start? I mean, yeah, if you can get Luka in there, I think that's a good way to go. But honestly, I'd probably just go Ja and Valanciunas and then kind of work from there. But if you can get Luka, for sure, go ahead. Derek White or Dylan Brooks? I'd rather have Dylan Brooks between those two. You fading Luka tonight? I mean, right now, in the one lineup I built for both sites, he's not in my one lineup. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to get there. There's just not enough value in my opinion. Anybody you think they will start and then fade minutes? In terms of the Spurs, I mean, I don't know who the Spurs are going to start. Obviously, DeRozan and Dejounte Murray are still going to be in the starting lineup, but there's a good chance that Derek White moves back into the starting lineup. There's a good chance Keldon Johnson moves back into the starting lineup. LaMarcus Aldridge can move back into the starting lineup. If that's the case and Walker goes back to the bench, Lyles goes back to the bench, Pirtle goes back to the bench, I have no interest in any of those guys. But, it's going to depend on the starting lineup, I think. So if Lyles is still starting, I have interest in him because he's super cheap still. Pirtle, even if he's starting, I don't love him on this slate, but he'd be viable at least. But, Derek White, it all depends on minutes limit. If he's not limited and he's starting, then, yeah, Derek White's a very solid option. But we got to wait and see. That Spurs starting lineup is pretty important. I think it will be a little bit different than what it has been. I'd assume, at least. DFS or Kleber? I'd probably take Kleber there. I'm not a big fan of either one, but I'd probably take Kleber there. Is 4 Memphis players too much? No, not on this slate. I mean, I'm pretty sure the dummy lineup I built had 5 guys from Memphis. So, yeah, I think 4 or 5 Memphis players is totally fine. Just because they're the most appealing team on this slate, in my opinion. And, there's just not a ton that stands out. So, playing guys like Dylan Brooks, Joe Val, Morant in the same lineup, I have no problems with it, especially in a really good matchup against Washington. What's up, Noah? Good to be back. What's your take on my team? Ja, Beal, Westbrook, Finney-Smith, Rui, Kleber, Joe Val, Bertans. I mean, that's pretty solid for now, I guess. Assuming that, well, yeah, I guess that's fine. Bertans, obviously, he's not going to start, but Bertans a solid, option off the bench just because 2-game slate, not a ton of options. I'd be fine playing Bertans. But the rest, I like. Rui's been terrible, but I think on a short slate like this, Rui is in play, at least. Thoughts on Aldridge if he starts? Yeah, if Aldridge starts, I like him a lot. I think 5,500 is definitely too cheap for Aldridge if he is starting. When he's starting and playing 30 minutes, he should be around 6K, so he's a little bit discounted in that case. And on DraftKings, he's power forward eligible, which is really nice. Sucks on Yahoo, he's center only, but I still like him over there if he's starting. You worried about a Memphis blowout? I mean, not really. Right now the game only has, Memphis, they're favored by 3.5. So I don't see any reason why we should be worried about blowout there. Memphis is favored by 3.5. Dallas is favored by 4.5. I mean, right now, these games are expected to stay close. Vegas is expecting both games to be close. So I wouldn't get too worried about blowout or anything. Have 3,900 left. Already have Value Center and Winslow. Who would you go with in util? Let's see. If you already have Winslow, can't go to him. I'd assume when you say you have Value Center, I guess that means you have one of the Washington bigs. I mean, yeah, that's I guess Denny Avia, 3,100. He has the chance to play 25, 26 minutes if he's playing well. The minutes can be all over the place, but I think you probably get 22, 24 minutes from Denny Avia, 3,100. He'd probably be the guy I'd go with there. There really isn't much down there that I like, but it'd probably be him if I had to pick anyone. Ja, Bill, Westbrook, Brooks, Aldridge, Lopez, Winslow. That's pretty solid. I think that's totally, I'm totally fine with all those guys. I mean, on a 2-game slate, man, it's really hard to say, a guy's not playable. Robin Lopez, I would never be playing, but on a 2-game slate, Robin Lopez is in play. Guys like Denny Avia, I'd never be playing, but on a 2-game slate, Denny Avia is definitely viable. Really, if anybody's going to, if there's a guy that's going to be on the floor for at least, enough minutes to where he can score enough points, I mean, he's viable. So, like, even if we only get 20 minutes from Justice Winslow on a 2-game slate, he's in play. Justice Winslow could go for 26 in 20 minutes and be a guy you want, you got to have. Same with guys like Raul Neto, Bertans, these guys. Mills, Bertans, or Kleber. Between those three, I'd probably go with Kleber. I just feel like he's the safest option, I guess, because he's a starter. We know the minutes are going to be there for Kleber. Bertans probably gives you the most upside just because he can, he's a guy that can score and he can get hot. So I guess if you're playing cash, I'd take Kleber. If you're playing like tournaments, probably go with Bertans. Would you play Wagner or Lopez if you don't have Jonas? I mean, I'd probably take Wagner, I guess. Like I said earlier, he's the starter, so he's, I guess, the guy I'm most confident in. He's at least going to be out there at the beginning of the game and has the chance to play, decent minutes if he comes out and plays really well to start. They could literally split the center minutes 3 ways. Like, they could play Alex Len 16 minutes. They could play Robin Lopez 16 minutes. They could play Wagner 16 minutes. They could play Wagner 25, Lopez 12, Alex Len 11. Like, there's just so many ways they could go with the center minutes. You're just guessing, I feel like. Nobody is confident in who's going to get the minutes between those 3 bigs. If I had to pick one, I think I'd take Wagner, though. Best value on Yahoo tonight? Let's see. It's probably like D'Anthony Melton. He's super cheap over there. Him and Justice Winslow, like Melton's $13. Justice Winslow is $11. Like, those are 2 guys I like for value. If Trey Lyles is starting again, I don't think he's going to start, but if he does, he's $12. I'd be fine playing Trey Lyles as a value if he's starting. But I think Winslow and Melton are probably my 2 favorite guys. Melton, I think, in terms of upside, we've seen Melton can put up big games, so I like Melton the most for value on Yahoo. He's definitely cheaper than he should be, in my opinion. Thoughts on Richardson in cash? I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it. He's $4,900 on DK. He's probably going to give you 25, 26 points. I mean, he's probably going to go for 5x, but on a 2-game slate, that could be good enough. So, yeah, I'm fine with it, especially because the position, like shooting guard, if you're not paying up for Bradley Beal, I mean, or Dylan Brooks, I guess, like there's not a ton of guys I'm confident in outside of those 2. Melton, I think, has upside, but in cash, I don't know if I'd be playing Melton just because we've seen the minutes can fluctuate so much with him. He could play 26 minutes. He could play 12 minutes. Like, there's just a wide range of outcomes there. But he's someone I do like for tournaments because, that upside that he has if he does get the minutes. Still on Kyle Anderson from your first video? Yeah, I think Kyle Anderson's totally viable. I like him more on Yahoo where he's a power forward and, you have to play at least 1 power forward. And if you look at the position, there's not a ton of good options. Like, Keldon Johnson, if he's starting, I'm fine with him at $18. I think I'd rather have Kyle Anderson over Brandon Clark, though. Draftkings, you have so much positional flexibility. Like, I really like Aldridge at power forward if he's starting, only $5,500. But yeah, Kyle Anderson, totally fine with him. I mean, like I said, it's a 2-game slate, man. I mean, nobody's out of play on a 2-game slate unless they're going to not touch the floor. Like, obviously, you're not going to play, I don't even know, like Anthony Gill. You're not playing Anthony Gill, but guys like, let's see, Denny Avia, these low usage guys, but they're going to at least get enough minutes to where they could, luck into 25 points. Same with Wagner, same with Garrison Matthews. These guys are viable on short slates like this, in my opinion at least, especially if you're playing a lot of lineups. Great info like always, Noah. I appreciate that, Jay. Appreciate that, man. Any interest in Bertans? Yeah, Bertans, he's in play for me. I have no confidence in Bertans, but it's a 2-game slate. We don't have a ton of options to choose from. Bertans is totally viable, in my opinion. Richardson or Hardaway? I think Richardson's probably the safer option just because he's a starter. So I'd probably take him. Hardaway obviously has upside off the bench. He can score, but he does lose usage with Luka and Porzingis both healthy. Obviously, Richardson, he's not a great point per minute player as well, playing alongside those guys. Like, he's not going to be that productive. But I think in terms of minutes, Richardson probably plays a few more minutes, so I'd probably take him over Hardaway. Let's go, Noah. Welcome back. Hey, appreciate you being here, Brandon. Feels good to be back, man. Wish we had a better slate tonight, but we got what we got. We'll work with it. I'm excited for tomorrow's slates. Tomorrow's going to be fun. A ton of games. I think there's 11 games tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. Is anyone out? Not that I know of. Nobody's been ruled out. I don't think anything's going to change from. Really, the only news we're waiting on is the Spurs starting lineup, because I think the Spurs starting lineup could be a bit different than what it has been. Now that they're healthy again, now they have guys back, I think they could definitely change up their starting lineup. That's really the only news we're waiting on. I don't think there's really any guys that are going to be ruled out though, unless guys unexpectedly get ruled out. Bertans or Tim Hardaway. I'd probably take Tim Hardaway there. I feel like both are kind of similar plays. Like both are going to play probably 26, 28 minutes off the bench. They're both scorers. They can totally disappoint. They can definitely go out there and knock down 6 threes and put up 30 fantasy points. Like the range of outcomes for those two guys are pretty wide. I'd probably take Tim Hardaway though. Bertans or DFS, I'd go with Bertans there between him or DFS. I think Bertans just gives you more upside. DFS, I rarely play DFS, man. Or I rarely play Finney-Smith, I should say. Yeah, I'm just not a Dorian Finney-Smith guy. Like, he just has no upside. DeRozan or Porzingis, I'd probably take Porzingis there between those two. We think about Lopez, he seems to be the most consistent at least. Yeah, he does. In terms of, if I had like gun to my head, which of the 3 centers plays at least 20 minutes, I'd pick Robin Lopez, but like I'm not confident in that. I mean, it does feel like though most nights Lopez is the center getting the most minutes. But I think Wagner's still the starter. Wagner's a good point per minute player. He's probably the guy I'd take a shot on if I was going to play any of those 3 bigs. Last time they played Memphis, they completely split the minutes. You got 19 for Lin. I can't remember what it was. I think 11 for Wagner and like 18 for Lopez. So you're just guessing, in my opinion, with those Washington centers. You're just guessing, but they're viable on a 2-game slate. Rui interest, he's in play for me. I don't love him. Like I wish he was cheaper. Like Rui's been so bad lately, but. Again, it's such a short slate, man. We don't have many options. Rui he's viable on a 2-gamer, but like you look at the guys priced around him, I'd rather play Dylan Brooks, I'd rather play Aldridge, I'd rather play Brandon Clark, Keldon Johnson if he's starting, I'd rather play him. There's so many guys I'd rather have over Rui, but yeah, as like a last piece in, I'm fine with Rui. And if you're playing multiple lineups, I'd have him in my player pool. DeRozan over Porzingis all day. Hey, if that's the way you want to go, that's the way you can go. I think I'd take Porzingis there, though, especially now that the Spurs are starting to get healthy again. I don't know if I really want to go 8K for DeRozan. Like DeRozan, when the Spurs are fully healthy, I feel like he should be priced around like 7,200, not 8K like he is today. Keldon Johnson and Denny or Tim Hardaway and Lopez. If Keldon Johnson is starting, I'd play him. So I'd go with the first one there, Johnson and Denny. But if we find out that Johnson's still going to be coming off the bench, then I would play the second. If we get that news before 8 o'clock, hopefully we get news before lock. Assuming Keldon's starting, I'd go with the first. I'd hope we get the Spurs starting lineup before lock. Hopefully. Rudy Gay, probably not for me. I just don't know how many minutes he's going to play. Hopefully we get some clarity on his minutes and Derek White's minutes. But like Rudy Gay, he's already a guy that comes off the bench. I mean, when he was healthy, he wasn't playing a ton. I mean, he played like 22, 24 minutes a night. It's not like he's that cheap either. I mean, if we get 22 minutes from Rudy Gay, he could go out there and put up 30 fantasy points, and I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be on Rudy Gay on this slate. Like if I was going to take a shot on him or Derek White, I'd rather play Derek White, I think. One last question. Ja, Beal, Murray, Brooks, or Russ, Luka, Melton, and Anderson? That's a close one. I'd probably go with the first there. Ja, Beal, Murray, and Brooks, but that's super close. I like both sides of that. That's a close one, Bryce. I think I'd take the first one, though. Ja, Beal, Murray, and Brooks. Thanks, Noah. Sure thing, Gabriel. Sure thing, man. We'll be live for just a few more minutes, guys. Obviously, a short slate like this, there's not much to talk about. I've kind of answered basically all the questions that have been put in the chat, but I'll answer any last-minute questions you guys got. Short stream today for sure. We'll be live for an hour tomorrow, though. Full slate tomorrow, so we'll go live the full hour. Thinking about fading the Spurs if they're all healthy. I mean, yeah, that's something you can do. Like they have Rudy Gay back, they have Derek White back. Johnson's starting to get his minutes ramped back up. He's back to playing, most likely his normal minutes. LaMarcus Aldridge should be back to playing his normal minutes. I could see it. I think Aldridge, like if he's going to get 30 minutes though, Aldridge and Keldon Johnson, if they're going to play like 30 minutes, I think they're both in play. If they're starting, I feel pretty confident that they do get around 30 minutes, Aldridge and Johnson. The Grizzlies starting lineup was announced. I assume it's, Morant, Bane, Brooks, Anderson, Valanciunas. Yeah, nothing we didn't expect. Did you play best ball? I did not, but I saw there was some tournaments that were like going to have a ton of overlay. I thought about jumping in them, but I guess time's kind of up now. I assume I still have like an hour and a half though. But yeah, I saw like the 555. It was like had a ton of overlay. So did the other tournaments too. I might have to hop in them real quick after I get off the stream. Maybe throw in 1 or 2 entries in like that 555. Probably just one. But yeah, if there's a ton of overlay, I think it's something I want to look into. Is Melton in play? Yeah, totally fine going to Melton. He's in play for me. Is fading Jonas a mistake? I don't want to say it's a mistake. I mean, right now he's in my lineup on both sites. Like I said, I'm playing one lineup tonight on DK and Yahoo, and I have Valanciunas in both my lineups. That's just me personally, though. There's plenty of other center options. You could pay up for Porzingis. If LaMarcus Aldridge is starting, you could play him at center. You could take a shot on one of the Washington bigs. So there's other centers to go to, but I feel like Valanciunas, in terms of price, matchup, upside, he's my favorite center, 100%. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the stream here. Shorter streams today, only went live for about 30 minutes, but, it's a 2-game slate. There really isn't much to talk about. We'll be live tomorrow, probably a little bit earlier than normal, around 4 or 5 Eastern. We'll be live the full hour tomorrow because, we got a bigger slate. There'll be a lot more to talk about. But, yeah, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you had a good All-Star break. Excited to be back and, streaming every day, answering questions, breaking down everything with you guys. We'll be back tomorrow a little bit earlier than we went live today, probably around 4 or 5 Eastern. Hope to see you guys then, though. Good luck tonight, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you watching, guys. Good luck tonight.